that maybe it's just him that he likes the sound of the budget guitars a little better. I had made the comment, a lot of things that I talk about, guys, a lot of people are like, oh, I hear people, we've only had one or two bad comments on like reviews and stuff. Someone said, he's talking out of his butt. Well, tonight I kind of proved that I kind of know what I like. Okay, remember I always say one half to one third. I made a comment, I don't know, it was in the last stream or the stream before, that I actually preferred the pickups in this Ibanez over the Schecter. The pickup readings on the Schecter, it's the Henrys are over 50%. So that's telling me they're using strong magnets and less windings. They could still be using a lot of windings, but they've definitely put stronger magnets in there. I have found over half, I don't really care for the pickups. These pickups, they surprised me on the clean. I think they did sound good, but there's something about the attack in distortion on the Schecter pickup that I just don't really. It's not my favorite. I prefer the sound of a Duncan Distortion or a JB or a DiMarzio. I think for me that's my sound. That pickup is more voiced for the really, really heavy music that's being done now, and more of the, like I would say, the Polyphia type style music. If you played that type stuff through it, I think it would sound more fitting. The Polyphia style is not my style. I've tinkered around with it. It's a completely different pick attack, a completely different way of fretting. The scaling, everything's different. So I really can't play that kind of music. But I think you would find that it would be better at those things. And you can see the light behind me is set up for doing the review. Let me spin it because it's doing a funny thing in the camera. There we go. That was the one thing I forgot to switch over. So I agree with you, Jerry. The pickup, in my opinion, isn't great, but I know people like that pickup. For me, I would rather, have a JB. I know Seymour Duncan makes a hotter version of the JB, like a distortion. Put that in there, it would probably be more up my alley. But I get the voicing of the pickup. But I know what I like when I read pickups. And it's funny that I said that the pickup, I was on the fence with it. And then when I check it, the Henrys were above 50% of the ohms rating. And as soon as I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, now I'm getting it. That it gives the pickup a funny sound. On budget guitars, what I've noticed on pickups with less winding and stronger magnets, they have a quack to them. And in the clean and crunch tones, sometimes I think they can sound better than a more expensive pickup with more windings. They just have something with the mid-range. I think they work really well in that scenario. Where that cheaper pickup falls apart is when you put high gain on it. Sometimes they'll be microphonic, sometimes they'll get muddy. But in a clean scenario, they have a quack and a quality that makes them sound cool. I had a Firefly Telly, a blue one that I did a review on. That guitar had that style pickup where the Henrys were high. They had put stronger magnets, less windings on it. It sounded really cool with like jazzy type chords, open chords. It had a cool quack. It just fell apart with gain. I think a good budget pickup was the Mad Cat. They got that one a little closer. It worked well on the clean, still had that quack, but it also took distortion better. It still didn't like higher gain. That's where your budget pickups tend to fall off. But I can name high dollar pickups that get muddy when you add distortion to them. You just gotta look, figure out what you like, and then take it from there. But I'm also happy during the review that the pickup raised and started, hitting the strings. That's an issue that I've had with the guitar since I purchased it. And Linnell said someone, Warheart Arts was saying something fingernail polish stuff on the screw. You could probably, you could probably do that. The correct fix is to bore the hole in the pickup ring in the bracket larger so the screw slides through with no friction, and a larger diameter screw. Okay, that'll thread into the body. That'll have more pressure behind it so it doesn't walk. Am I going to change the pickup? Probably not going to change the pickup in that guitar. It's. I'm going to turn my gains down a little bit. I see I'm over keeling just a little bit. We're using 2 microphones, so I keep forgetting to readjust. I'm setting one direction. This direction I'm firing into 2. I'm not going to change it. The guitar does what it does, and it does it well. So it's a completely different voiced guitar. So the point in having multiple guitars, if you got 5 or 6 guitars and you stick all JBs on them, how much different voicing are you going to get? Yeah, the guitar does change the sound of the pickup a little bit, but it's nice to have a JB guitar with like an SH4, then maybe a Duncan Distortion, maybe something with some DiMarzios in it, something with Pearly Gates in it, something like the Ibanez has in it. When you have a bunch of different guitars that have different voiced pickups, you start to get to know that instrument and go, well, I want to play this kind of music tonight. This guitar works really well playing this. So that's why I don't say too much about pickups, because everyone kind of has their own opinion on it. Jerry said he went to grab some snacks. I'm reading the comments. So hopefully everyone liked the review. I am trying to get to more, more information in the live review. The big thing that I got to work on is not making mistakes like when I was checking the pickups. Now this guitar is different. It's got a Sustainiac. So figuring out how to test that and to get a reading took a little bit of extra time. Other than that, to go over the fit and finish, the frets, the neck relief. We also checked intonation tonight. We've been missing that in the first fretted note. I think that in itself and the string action height tells us a lot about how much time was spent on the guitar. You can have perfect intonation and hit that first fretted note and it's just way out. This guitar is the best guitar we've had on the channel, period, as far as setup. The nut, everything is just, it's good. If I was down in my workbench and I had a guitar and I had filed the nut down or belt sanded the nut down to get the first fretted note to that point, I don't think I would take it back off to get that little bit that it was off, because you're talking such a fine amount, you may end up creating another issue. I would have left the note alone, and maybe if my client was just wanted perfection, I may have moved 3 of the saddles. And when I say it would take very little movement to correct, because the intonation was sharp and the first fretted note was slightly sharp. Moving that saddle forward, moving it forward. Yeah, moving the saddle would and it wouldn't take much. My little squirrel, it's late, so I'm trying to think which way I would move it. But moving it a 32nd of an inch would correct that. And that, the first fretted note would be fine in the intonation, but it's so close. It's good. It's the best I've seen. So I think the guitar really is a nice guitar. It's just got that one issue. Uh, I see Steve's made it back in. We're getting the guys back in. I apologize. The only reason I want to split the screen is just for future. So someone clicks on that for a review. I want that video to be a review, if that makes sense. This open forum where we come and chat, it's completely different. So I don't want to have this content in with the review, just for people that click on the video a month down the road. That's the only reason why we do it. So I'm kind of curious, what's everyone's thought on it? So if everyone right now could just type me something, you thought the guitar is worth the money, and whether or not you like the review, or what I need to do in the review to make it better. I'm really trying to grow the channel. We're doing a lot. We're really trying to get more people to come in the stream. So if you guys post a comment real quick on each one, the chat rate will go up. That'll get people in the stream. And then it'll also let me know what I need to work on. So Devastator says, told ya I'm observant. Hi everyone, just a little hi. Hey Cole, good to have you in the chat. Distracted by, I don't know what that is, Steve. Pentagore, everyone's saying hey to Cole. Cole's like a celebrity in the group. I like that. It's night here. Hope all is well for you guys. It was a little warm where I'm at, Cole, but that's okay because it's supposed to cool off this weekend. We're supposed to have really nice temperatures this weekend, like 75 degrees. That is Fahrenheit. So it's supposed to be really nice this weekend. Not too hot, not too cold. Need to fix that walk. I don't know what that means. It's sweet. So I guess Birdman's talking about the guitar there. All is well. Hope the same for you. So everyone's engaging with Cole. So hopefully we are getting better at the live. We are going to try to do a guitar review once a week, or a review in general once a week. Right now we have 6 more guitars here for reviews, so we have another month and a half of reviews before we have to consider bringing anything else in. We actually have a couple pieces of equipment that we want to do reviews on, so we might snake those in too as well over the next 2 months. But good news is, just to keep everybody up, the Jackson 7-string has been sold. So that frees up money for the channel, and I am, even though we still have 6 more guitars to review, I am actively looking for the next guitar, and I can already tell you it's going to be a budget guitar. We are looking for something under $300 to review. So if you guys have a suggestion on the next budget guitar, I think that would be great. I wouldn't mind doing a tease. If they want to reach out to me and send me a guitar, I would be. Everyone seems to be talking about tees, so I would like to review a tease. AIO, I would like to also review one of their guitars. I'd also like to review a Solar, or an S by Solar. But that's above 350. That's about 350 on that guitar. We could do a hardtail Solar and get it under 300. And a Jet. I think we haven't had a Jet on this channel yet. So I think Jet would be another instrument that we could get on below 300. We've been touching base on the $400, $500, $800, $1,200, $1,600, $1,500. So it's been a couple months, probably about 3 months since we had a $300. Well, actually, that was about it's been about 2 months since we had a $300 guitar on the channel. So it's time to bring in a more budget-friendly guitar for review. We're trying to catch every price point. I will watch this live tomorrow. Okay, Cole, that's cool. Amplitude is an amp sim. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people, Steve, using Amplitude. Nowadays, a lot of people are doing that directly in their DAW. They don't even have an amplifier, everything's in their computer. Um, it's getting really to the point where, Devastator just bought a floor unit. And with that floor unit, he doesn't even technically need an amp. He could go right to a powered PA speaker. So, is it an amp? I guess you could call it an amp, but it's more of a digital signal processor with an amp and preamp simulator and a cabinet R. It's kind of going that way, guys. I still like my amplifiers, but if you're on a budget, it's far cheaper to do like a headrush or something like that and a PA driver. I know some people like the FR cabinets. A PA driver is supposed to be a flat response driver too. Is it as flat as an FR? They're not flat either. So I think you can go that route, save a bunch of money. And if you do play out somewhere and you take your little floor pedal, you can use your PA as your monitor, and then your other output goes straight to front of house. You don't really need a guitar amp. And I've been kind of proving that on the channel with this little Yamaha. It serves what we're doing here well. But I did buy some microphones. So we are getting the tube amp up and running. It's just going to take a little while. You guys see we have gotten rid of some stuff. So we're making some room in the room. We're going to do some changing around over the next 2 or 3 months. Do some reorganizing. Try to get things laid out better so I can do a better stream and do demos and reviews a little better. So we're trying to clear up some space, shuffle some stuff around, make some changes. So hopefully the audio has gotten better. We are using 2 microphones now, so as I turn, there shouldn't be as much change as it's being picked up in multiple directions. So we've made that change. We want to make a camera change. So over the next year, we are trying to get better. Remember when we first started this stream, I wanted to make something better each stream. And I think we've done pretty good. I'm still really not too happy with the video quality, but that's a very large jump for us to do. Pentagore is talking about the IV. That's a brand that I have not had on the channel either. So we could bring IYV in, that IP350. I've been really curious on that guitar. I think Trucker Bob just bought one and stuck EMGs on it. He seems to like it. We could actually buy that guitar for about $160. So that might be a good guitar to bring in for review. And if the pickups are bad, maybe put some pickups in it and then resell it. I like the diesel better than gas. Someone's talking diesel and gas. Oh, thank you so much, Cole. It's difficult for us, such a small channel, to roll through the amount of gear that we roll through.
Did you see where Birdman said there's what is that, a 106 IYV Strat on Amazon?
A 106 Strat. I have not seen that one. Birdman, how I look at things, I'm going to go to Amazon and I'm going to look at a product that sells a lot. I know the IP350 that they make, they sell a lot of those guitars. That's like the PRS style with humbuckers. It's a set neck. They sell a lot of those. They also sell one it's probably not a true neck through, but it has a carve out in the back like a neck through. That one's usually about $220. And then they have one with like the vine going down the neck. That one's usually about $280. But they do have the super cheap one that's set up like a Gibson that has the flat stall where the neck comes back into the body and it's a set neck. I believe that one goes on sale for like $139. So we could definitely bring one of those in. Fesley does sell a lot. So Fesley would be another good one. And believe it or not, I think Donner has that DTS Strat that everyone was talking about at one time. It's a humbucker single single. I think that guitar sells quite a bit. Oh my gosh, thank you, Pentagore. And I didn't say anything during the live stream. I think I typed it in. I want to thank Bob during the live show for the $5 super chat that he gave us in the live show. During the live show, I don't even have the chat up because it's more about recording and for the live and then also setting it up to where it's interesting for people later on. So I don't really engage too much on the chat. That's why we come back and catch this one. Thank you so much, Pentagore. You guys are great. If you notice, I've turned off, I reuse settings. So I've tried to make sure that I turn off commercials during the live. And then once the chat comes live, and that usually takes about a day, I turn monetization back on. So if you come back 3 or 4 days from now, there will be commercials in this. It's just YouTube's not going to push the video if they can't make $1. So Pentagore, thank you for that, because that, since no monetization, that right there is more than what YouTube would pay me for ads, even if you had 10 ads during the whole live stream. It's crazy. Yes, I have three Donners, HSS model. Yeah, I've heard good things about Donner. Of course, all these companies, I've heard good and I've heard bad. I have not done a Donner, I have not done a Fesley, and I have not reviewed an IYV. So one of those three would probably be a good pick for the channel. Since we have top fans up here now, I'm not seeing, maybe I got to set it up before the stream for a poll, but the next stream, next Saturday night, I'll do a poll, and I'll do some research on Amazon for maybe 4 or 5 different budget guitars. You guys can pick which one you want to actually review next. Sweet models, red one, white one, and a blue one. Yeah, they're the colors and what you're getting, you know, you can't really beat it. A neck and a body is worth $200. And as long as the fretwork's decent on it, I can see why people buy them and modify them. Because the neck itself, if you bought a good neck, is $200 or $300, and a body's going to be $100. So if you can buy a budget guitar for $250 and do a little bit of work to it, I get it. We've done a lot of modifying budget guitars here. We just need to pick the next one, whatever one stems everyone's interest right now. All right, I'm trying to think if there's anything that we missed. Or we missed anything, honey?
I don't think so.
She says she doesn't think so.
I'm tired, sorry.
Yeah, there's a few fretted. Birdman says his DST-80 has a few fret issues. Number 2 was a nightmare. I'm assuming it was a high fret since you were able to fix it. That's the issue that I've had with one budget brand continuously on this channel is low frets. Low frets are hard to fix because you got to sand all the other frets down. If you've got 1, 2, 3, even 4 high frets, that's much easier to fix than a low fret. If you want, you can go in there with a fret kisser. First, tap down the fret, make sure it's down right on the neck properly. Then use a fret kisser and file it down even with the corresponding frets on either side. Redress it, and you're usually pretty good. A low fret, you can't do that. You've got to do a lot of work. So if you've got to pick between the guitars when you order a budget guitar, low fret, send it back. I hate to say that. Just send it back. The next one might still have fret issues, but hopefully it's a high fret. It's something that you can fix easily, if that makes sense. These are the things that I look for. Also look for halfway decent wiring inside. Make sure it's not sloppy. That way you don't have to change the pots and do a bunch of stuff. You're probably going to change pickups anyway. Just make sure it's not super sloppy in there and the bore and stuff is good. Budget guitars, another big thing that they have, usually the jacks are pretty bad. So spend $6 or $7, get yourself a pure tone jack. You know, I do that to every guitar that I keep here. If I know I'm going to keep the guitar, it gets a pure tone jack. That's just something I do. Then double check your wiring. And pickups. On these budget guitars, guys, just changing the cap can make big differences. Don't go, all these pickups are awful. Change the cap. Make sure those are awful pickups first, that you don't like them. Changing the cap can drastically change the voicing on that pickup. I have two guitars that I did not like the pickups in. I just changed the cap, and I'm okay with them now. And that cap, a good cap, maybe $5-6. Don't waste your money on a $30 Bumblebee. It's a budget guitar. You spend, really, you can get an orange drop for about $5. Put that in it. Get a couple different, like a .022 and 3.3, maybe a 4.7. Play around with it. Figure out which one you like. That's far cheaper than buying new pickups and switching out the pickups. Try the caps first. If you still don't like it, sure, go down the I want to change pickup route. But try the cap thing first while you're in there. Put a pure tone jack in it. Play it. It's a budget guitar. Play it like you stole it. I mean, I've got an FFN here. Whenever I play that guitar, I've put quite a bit of money in that one though. That guitar plays. So you can take these budget instruments and you can make them awesome guitars. You really can. It's just how much time, how much money do you want to put in them? The point in this channel is to find one that you don't have to put that much in, if that makes sense. But if you guys have been watching, we've had some problems with some expensive guitars here lately. So price point is up to the person. Don't expect perfection at really any price level. That's kind of what we're doing here. We're trying to find the low hanging fruit, as they call it. But sometimes you spend a little more. You think it's low hanging fruit, but you come to find out it's a rotten apple. Our PWM 20 was a rotten apple. So it happens in both sides. I hear people bashing budget guitars, and then I hear the budget guys always bashing the high-end guitars. Price point's up to you. Some people think $1,600 is a budget guitar. They're buying Murphy Labs. I guess if you're buying a Gibson Murphy Lab, $1,600 Schecter Banshee is a budget guitar. To me, it's not. For me, a budget guitar is $300 and under. I think once you hit the $300 range, the $300 to $450, $500, that's kind of a weird spot. I don't really consider a $450 guitar a mid-grade instrument. I say $500 to $1,200 is mid-grade. So I don't really know what to call the $300 to $500 spot. It's a strange area. It really is. All right, Jerry. Thanks for coming in, man. Trying to think. Are we still missing anything, hon? Anything? He's talking to Silvertone at this point. That's Birdman's talking about the Silvertone. Plays spooky good. Single ceramic bar magnet pup sound sweet and creamy. You know, everyone poo-poos ceramic. I've said it a couple times. I actually like ceramic pickups. I've got a couple guitars with ceramic pickups in them. I actually like them. Plus, I did that in mod and deleted the tone control from the neck pickup. Exactly, Pentagore. They are. We're not perfect. We can't build something perfect. I just try to pick out what I see, and then you guys can take it from there. And again, Devastator, yeah, you're right. That's what makes them unique. Every guitar is unique. That's why we do the review, and I always qualify it. It's one guitar. You can have three of them, exact same model. Each one of them is going to play a little different. So don't think that it's not. I can't stay. Today's Friday, and I must bear. Exactly. Exactly, Cole. As soon as the sun goes down, it is the Sabbath. 100% agree with you, buddy. Be safe, Cole. Be safe over there, and we'll see you hopefully on the Saturday night stream. Penagor's asking about the cats. Steve, that's a funny comment. There's one that sniffs guitars. That's no joke. I think it's it's more for comedy than anything else. Um, Back when I was a new player, I used fingeries. Um, the lead guitar player in our band, he loved that stuff. He'd get up on stage, and he'd spray the neck down with fingeries. It does make it slicker, and it makes I mean, it's goo. After 5 or 6 years of spraying that crap on your fingerboard, you've got to get it clean at some point. I have not used fingeries since I was in my mid 20s. Um, I'm not going to say it's bad because, like I said, I used to use it. But there is a YouTuber that does the sniffing. And like I said, I think that's just more or less a spoof, something that he's just trying to act crazy and, for viewership. Knock on wood, this channel has not had to cross that bridge. We're trying to just be a upfront, this is how I am kind of channel. I don't want to do stupid things that, people are going to laugh at or, oh, this guy's crazy. I just want the channel to be about music. And not saying, I am crazy when I play guitar. I get excited. That's a different kind of crazy than just acting like a fool, if that makes sense. We're trying to be adult about it, but yet have fun and, good product information. That's what it's about. For me. Don't get me wrong, I watch other channels that do the spoof stuff, but when it comes to my music stuff, I'm usually pretty serious. Everyone knows I watch Philip Ignite. I think he is serious, and he's jokingly, kind of like the same way I am. He's a funny guy. I don't think I'm that funny, but I like jokes. I get jokes. So you guys make jokes, I laugh. So that interaction's cool, and I think what Phil does is a lot like that. It's just here it is. Another one I like Dylan Talks Tone. I know some people don't really, claim Dylan's kind of an asshole, I guess they call him. I don't feel that way. He owns a business, he winds pickups. He has an opinion, and that's his opinion. You're not going to stray him from his opinion. He's going to make his product the way he makes it, and I 100% respect his opinion and what he does on his channel. I kind of like that, if that makes sense. And he says, you don't have to agree with me. This is how I feel about it. And I guess I'm kind of the same way. You guys don't have to agree with me either. That's what the comment section's about. You guys can talk about it amongst yourselves or bring it up and say, hey, Avery, did you think about this? And it might change my opinion, just like the pick thing that Nicholas sent us. It changed me on the picks that I use. So I don't discount what you guys say. I take everything in and go, why does that person think that? And hopefully you guys do the same thing. Like if Steve says something or Penagor or Devastator, that they do something that makes it work for them, well, there's got to be something to it. For them, it works for them. So you gotta go, well, why is it working for them and I'm struggling with it? There's many things that come into play. I'm trying to see. I think you're. Jerry, I'm funny looking. I don't know about being funny. I got the Dumbo ears. Thanks, Devastator. Europe is already lost. Oh, that's not good, Cole. I learned from Dylan how to fix out of phase issues on my stock single telly. That channel, when it comes to pickup wiring and stuff like that, he has a great channel. If you want to know about pickups, how to wire pickups, how to diagnose stuff like that. I think he's got probably one of the best channels on YouTube talking pickups. You know, I think he also does guitar reviews and some other things, but I'm more interested in his live streams when they're talking pickups. Why this works, why that works, why they do certain things and why they don't do certain things, or when he's experimenting, why is he changing the gauge of the wire or something. I find that interesting, and what he feels it's going to change it on the back end. Like if he uses the same magnets, he does less windings, but he uses a larger gauge, or like instead of using, I know this isn't right, instead of using like a 50 gauge, they'll go with a little bit heavier gauge, which takes up more space, which means less windings. What's that do to the sound? And he'll kind of explain, but he'll always tell you, you know what it should, or what I think it's going to do, but until you wind it and test it, you don't know what it's going to do. And it's so funny when you watch him sometimes, well, I thought it was going to do this, but it did this, and we thought it was a cool mistake, so now we make the pickup. So that's kind of proof. That's coming from someone that does pickups for a living, that said, I thought it was going to do this, it did this, but I think it's cool, so we're going to sell it. But that's not the direction that they were trying to go when they were designing the pickup. So that's what I like about his channel. He's honest. I think he's a cool dude. There's a couple other channels too that I've been watching lately. Cherry Bomb something. I've been watching him just for his guitar technique type thing. I thought maybe I can find a link and post it in Discord. I find his little tutorials pretty interesting. He doesn't have that many subscribers either, so it's a smaller channel. Really good information and content. Let me see. Dylan has solid options. He has opened up having his mind changed, but you need to prove your permission on whatever point you're making. Exactly. He doesn't take BS well. If you can prove your point and you have a valid argument, and I agree with that. I'm the exact same way. If you come in and you have a completely different opinion, and you say this is why I like it and it's valid point. That's your opinion. Dylan, he's talking specs. He wants you to show him, yes, it does this, this, and this, and this, and then he can talk about it. And that's what I like about the channel. He's very technical. He wants to know the specifics. Me, I kind of float around, you know. I do. My taste changes. It's changed just since I've been on YouTube. A lot's changed since I've been on YouTube. How I view the instrument itself. I view guitars now much differently than I did 3-4 years ago. I really do. Now when I look at a guitar, I'm not going to say I don't look at the price point. I do, because I work for a living. But the first thing I look for is aesthetics. I have to like the way the guitar looks. Okay? That's what draws you to it to start with. Second, does it play well? Does it look like the fit and finish and the paint's decent on it? And then, how well does it resonate when I play it, just strum it? Okay, that's the first thing I do. Strum it without an amp. Then I plug it into the amp. Then I look at the price point. And I never used to do that. I used to go, well, this guitar sucks. Or this guitar is way too much money. It's, or whatever. I used to always throw the guitar under the bus. Now I look at it, if I pick up a $250 instrument and it's got a couple issues, I kind of go, should it have the issues? No, but it's a $250 guitar. And that's where you kind of run down the rabbit hole. Because we want a perfect guitar, but we also understand that we're not paying a lot for the guitar. I pointed out, and then it's up to you guys to make the decision. Well, the frets are really bad, the pickups suck, and it's got poor, wiring in it. Is it still worth $250, or should I go buy something else for $250 that has a little bit better fit and finish, or a better pickup, or better overall quality? In today's market, there's so many to pick from. Don't be upset if this particular guitar is just bad. as far as the manufacturing and quality. There's 50,000 of them out there. We've reviewed, I think, 62 guitars to date on this channel. I think we just hit 62. That's a lot for a small channel. That really is. That basically boils down to almost one guitar every 2 weeks. So, this channel's been on for a little over 2 years. So maybe one guitar every 3 weeks is about our average. We go through little spurts, if that makes sense. So right now we're on a review spurt. We had about a 3-month window where we didn't do too much. So it kind of goes up and down. I don't want to burn you guys out on the guitar reviews, and I don't want to burn you guys out with just the live streams. So someone made a suggestion that we should review some amps. Maybe I will. I've done a couple. They just don't seem to get any traction. I guess it doesn't matter as long as the community that comes here likes the content. I guess that's all it counts. See, a lot of chat. Jerry's flipped the wiring, fixed. So Jerry and Birdman are talking about that particular instrument. Cam H-string from Dylan, so the factory wiring was wrong. I have had 2 guitars with the PC switch be wired incorrectly. One was my headless guitar, and when I ordered a new switch, the diagram the switch come with was incorrect. When I took a test meter, so it wasn't NK's fault that the switch was wired wrong. They followed the manufacturer's wiring diagram. I'm not letting NK off the hook because someone should have checked the guitar to make sure it worked properly. The NK was like that, and I think one Firefly that I reviewed had a miswired switch, and it was a PC switch. So it happens. And a lot of it is they order a couple hundred switches. They go, this is how it's supposed to be wired. And on cheaper guitars, on the back end, are they plugging every guitar in and checking it? They're probably just putting it on a meter. Yep, we got a signal. Yep, we got a signal. Whether it's out of phase or, a coil splits backwards. All those things can happen because they're not actually testing it. It's a $250 or $300 guitar. They don't have the time to check all that stuff. So a lot of that stuff gets pushed through. Though another way of looking at it, guys, the more money you spend, the less likely of a chance you should get a dud. I know that sounds bad because we know there's duds. We just had a dud, $1,500 dud on the channel. The more you spend, the odds of you getting a bad one should go down. Should. So what this channel is trying to do is, okay, did we get a dud Ibanez? Yes. I think I got a dud Ibanez. But I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 other Ibanezes that are spot on. So 1 out of 4. Is that bad odds? I don't know. But what's funny is the bad one I got was the higher priced model. The 4 good ones I have are the lower price models. So that's a little strange. So out of the 500 and lower, all of them are good. So that's kind of shocking for Ibanez. So, and that's why I still feel at the $470 price mark, that's the best bang for the buck this channel has seen. That's an unbelievably playing guitar and sounding guitar. It's a solid guitar. So if you're into that type of instrument and that's your budget, that's a good one. That's a good one to purchase. Is it the only one? No, there's others out there. We're continuing to look for other good ones. I think the one that the Ibanez we reviewed on Monday. We did two guitars this week, so we're doing a lot. The 520 AH at $650 price point with a tremolo. Guys, that's a stupid guitar. If you go back and watch that review, I abused that tremolo in that review. That guitar holds tune. It plays nice. The tremolo's butter smooth. That's the kind of guitars that I want on the channel to review. A guitar that you can take out of the box, stays in tune, sounds good, good fit and finish. Whether it's at the $300 price point or $2,000 price point, that's the guitars that we're looking for. We're looking for good purchases. And we're not, again, I'm not going to go over, pickups are taste. You know, some people, I don't, you know, we had some comments, some people didn't like the pickup in the Schecter. I kind of agree with that. It's not my favorite pickup, but it's still okay. I think the cleans were a lot better than I thought they'd be. To be honest, I really thought it was going to be bad on clean. By the way, it broke up with high gain. It was shockingly good in clean. I haven't went back and looked at and listened to the stream, but here in the room in my headphones, it sounded much better in clean than I really thought that guitar was going to sound like. The Ibanez S520AH, that thing was shockingly good in every position. I'm going to say that's another great buy. Another great buy. All right, guys, we're not going to stay on too long tonight. We're at 46 minutes. I hate to end the stream so early, but 2 streams in the same night. We did an extra long review. If you liked what I did extra on the review, please post in the video, on the review video, that you liked the intonation check. And I really, you guys are like a crutch for me. I need you guys to tell me and keep me straight what I need to do, and if I'm still doing the content that you need to see on these reviews. That's what I have to do to keep the channel going. And remember, we have to keep growing. So if we have to make changes, that's fine. Life is, do you like the same, here's the ultimate question. Do you play the same way you did 30 years ago? But also want to remember we're getting new people in that might be buying their first guitar. So we need to keep them in mind too, but I don't want to isolate, someone that's moving up or someone that's, going down like I did. I went from a very large rack system to a very budget-friendly little tiny amp. So I get both ways. Some people are going from a budget amp and they want to go to a bigger system. So we need to touch base on all that. And that's what we're here to do. Anyway, leave me some comments, guys. Hopefully, if you're new here, you do not have to be a subscriber to chat. That's something I started a couple months ago. I want you to come in and chat with everyone here. We also have a Discord server that you can chat. And there's always people on talking guitars, amps, pedals, you name it, they're there talking about it. There's a link in the chat window to your right. I guess that's it. Hopefully I've earned your subscription. Go down, you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for me, guys. And of course, since this is the regular one, we're going to have our 5-minute ending chat so everyone can finish up the chat. And I'll see everyone on Saturday night. Saturday night's our normal, Saturday night hangout. So hopefully everyone will come Saturday night. Tell your friends. Let's get a lot of people in Saturday night. We want to cross 40 people. We've hit like 38 max. So let's see if we can get 40 people in the stream on Saturday night. That would be cool. All right, guys. We're going to hit our ending window. And I can't thank everyone here enough for coming and the donations and the super chat. We're allowed to do the guitar giveaway. We're still waiting for more people to enter. We're doing a free guitar giveaway if you're new here or just chiming in. It's a Fender player. All you have to do is be publicly subscribed, go to Discord, put your name in the guitar giveaway room. You're instantly entered to win an $800 guitar. Right now, you got stupid odds to win, so keep that in mind. It's really good odds that you can win. So anyway, thanks, guys. We're going to end the stream. We got 5 minutes. I'll see everyone on Discord tomorrow night, and if you're not on Discord, I'll see you on the stream on Saturday night. Thanks, guys.